What is up, humans? I'm here with Charlie again. He's about to get crafty on his Huff Dunk Low Pro OG SF. It's a lot of initials.
Yeah.
SBOG.
It's like naming a
QS. I forgot the QS and the OG. Charlie wants to cut the panels off of his San Francisco, and as I've told you guys already, I didn't know if I wanted to do it. So I'm going to let him do it.
I feel like it needs to be done. So I have cut one, and I had a minor crisis because it's not being talked about, and I don't know why, but when you cut off the leather panel, there's a secondary felt
panel right here. I can't tell if I'm in frame, but...
And I was highly convinced that I didn't have tie-dye under mine. And I was like, oh no, can I put it back? What do I do now? But I just kept pushing because I was already there. And I was like, okay, it is under there. But
it's deep. The cut is deep.
It's a deep cut.
You feel it here.
Yeah.
And here.
Yeah, I don't know if this comes through, but yeah, that's a really thick panel. It's got to be like pushing on a little over 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah, if you're worried about cutting the canvas underneath, you do have this, that's at least 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah.
Felt that you have to go through as well. So
yeah.
It is a pretty thick panel, and of course, this leather is very nice as well.
Super nice.
And so you can see how thick that is. Do you have any advice right off the bat, like a technique or something?
Start with a really sharp blade, and I try to undercut the black leather by I angle the blade under the black leather a little bit, but don't go too far and cut a stitch.
Yeah.
But that way, if that white leather doesn't cut really cleanly, it's going to be under it a little bit, so you won't see it.
Yeah.
So that's my thought process.
So Charlie has the cleanest cut pair that I've seen so far.
In order to make a clean cut, I'll drag the blade. I'll make one long cut. That way it kind of works as a guide. It just scores the leather. It won't go through it. Mm-hmm. And then I'll make little short strokes while lifting the material away from it under. You'll see when we get there, but just moderate pressure. Try and undercut the black leather by putting the blade at an angle. So after some short little careful strokes, we got a corner. And what I'll do is I'll grab my tweezers and tug on that corner until I can get some purchase. And when I get that purchase, I can start. And since I've already made that score line, I basically don't have to do that much work now. And I have a cleaner.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I have a cleaner path to getting that leather out of there.
At this point, it's kind of like cutting along the dotted line.
Yep. Yeah, you've already made a guide. But after you get rolling, it's fairly easy until you hit the corners. When you get to a corner, angle your blade away from the check or whatever panel like this, and just get the tip in there. That way you don't drag it across your swoosh or whatever. This layer is the cause of my initial anxiety attack, because I got here and I was certain that I didn't have tie-dye under, and I started to freak out a little bit. But don't freak out. And I highly suggest just getting the leather panel out of the way first and then attacking the felt as its own panel.
Yeah.
That's going to be your best. Don't work on them both at once. And I don't know if you can see this, but I'm putting the blade at an angle and pulling it under the black. Don't go too far under, because you'll cut that stitch and then you'll be in a world of hurt.
Another thing, I think I've only seen 2 other people do it, but Charlie is the only one I've seen do it in one piece.
Oh, really? Oh, I want to shadow box them in the hallway. I'm gonna put a little shadow box instead of them in the hallway. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet, but I'm just trucking away at this. So if you want,
dude, you're cooking. Yeah, it's going pretty quick.
If you want me to slow down,
no, I like it. That's
the rubber part is a little nerve wracking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it feels wrong. It doesn't. The whole process feels wrong. But this around the swoosh to me was the hardest part.
Yeah.
So the first panel I did, the only panel I did so far, I started cutting around the swoosh here. And now I'm thinking that that's not the best way to attack it. Just start from this corner and work your way around it that way. You'll have way more purchase to pull this, because as I'm cutting, I'll pull the leather away from the layer under it and just make small scores. That way, here, let me make this score and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, like I can do it right here. You pull the leather away from the bottom layer and just make small little cuts along that score you've already made, and you won't have to worry about, getting through that layer under it, and it'll go pretty quickly. If you think this through, it'll go quick and you'll get a good result. If you make those incisions like we talked about and pull the layer you're cutting away from the bottom layer, you won't have to worry about cutting into that bottom layer. There we go.
Ooh, look at there.
So that guy is out of there. One piece. That's the easiest, to me, that's the easiest way to do it, because you constantly have some purchase to pull on to get them separated.
Yeah.
And now it's the same. That's what freaked me out. I was like, I don't have tie-dye. But repeat the process. This does not cut easier like I thought it would. It's not hard to cut it. It's just different. Mm-hmm. So the score method almost doesn't help as much here. But this is where you do have to be very careful. So I would start in this upper corner. That way, if you make a mistake, looking down at the shoe, it won't be that obvious. If you start down here and you make a mistake, there's nothing to hide the mistake. So I would start in this upper corner. That's just my thought process. I mean, this layer, there's no protection between you and the canvas under. And the canvas has to be easier to cut than this stuff.
Yeah.
Especially with a sharp blade. That's going to be the double-edged sword. It's going to be easier to cut, but it's going to be easier to cut the things you don't want to. Yeah. So get a small amount of purchase right there. Grab some tweezers. Pull it away from the canvas and just business as usual. Small cuts, angling the blade under. Go a little bit down this side, and then it's going to help to go a little bit down the next side. That way you have a corner to pull on. And now that you have some sort of corner to get your fingers on, you'll be in business. Pull it away from that canvas. Give it a little slice-a-rooney. Short strokes. And now we get our first peek at
cover your face.
Yeah, we get our first peek at the at the tie-dye. Pull it away from that canvas because you don't want to cut that canvas. There's not a lot left to the shoe. If you pinch this, there's basically the sock liner, and then there's this canvas. I've never had a dunk feel that thin.
So I wonder if in normal construction, if there is a layer that is this tie-dye, or did they add a canvas into the layer, into the process?
I honestly think they added the canvas into the process.
But this felt is there. Was
insulation.
The leather glued to the felt at all?
No.
No. Okay.
No. There is like a sticky.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's only to keep the
spray tack.
Yeah, it's like spray tack.
Some kind of spray tack. Yeah. How's this coming along?
Yeah, it's coming along pretty good. It doesn't go as fast as the leather because it's fibrous, and that makes it a little tougher to cut cleanly. But if you pull it away from the canvas and make small scores, you're going to be fine. And I don't want to go that quick because I really don't want to risk cutting into the canvas.
There was a dude, this was a funny story. Yesterday, there were two homies in the line from, I think, Raleigh or something, North Carolina. But they were both size 13. And the guy, I was out earlier, and he's like, make sure you hold one of those 13s for me. And I just laughed. Well, he came in, and his anxiety was high.
Right.
You're like waiting for your size. Is it going to be there? Is it going to be there? And his anxiety was high. And then he's like, 13. Yeah, we got it. His buddy right behind him, 13, is like, sorry, last one.
Oh.
How do you think the dude that got that last one, when he was like standing in line the whole time, like, is it going to be there? And then he got it, and there was that sigh of relief.
And then the person
behind him was the same size and didn't get it. So it was like a double sigh of relief.
Whoa.
The person behind him was like, damn, I just missed it. But
he was
like, damn, I just got it.
Wow. Was it one of those instances because you're doing three, we were letting in, or you, not we, but you were letting in.
We were letting three at a time, yeah.
So did they come in together?
They came in together.
Oh, man.
They were standing right beside each other.
Awkward turtle. All right, there's these little hairs, and I'm a nitpicker, so I'm trying to cut these hairs out, but...
Probably burn them out.
Yeah, that's what Becca said. She said, just hit it with a lighter. I said, stay away from my shoes. But there you go.
Yeah.
It's out.
Is it in focus?
Oh.
I think so. I think it's in focus.
Hide my face.
Maybe.
But yeah,
boom.
dude, that's the way I think it should be. It's as closest to the original as I'm going to get.
Yeah.
So I love to shoot both ways.
He's already played basketball on these things.
Yeah, in my delirium of 32 hours awake. I was just like, why not? What can go wrong? Yeah, dude, there we go. That's it.
Dude, I think that's it. We're going to wrap this up because I got things to do. It is a Sunday before we open.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to show you real quick what these things look like chopped up and give you a little bit of pointers on how to do it.
Yeah.
Any last pointers? Anything you forgot to say?
No.
No.
Sharp blade. Try to undercut it. That way, if you don't have a perfect cut, it's not really showing. And take your time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Looks good.
Either way, it's going to look dope.
All the best. Love Blue Tile.
Yeah. When I'm here, that's my line.
Ah, shit.